All right. And the interpreter is online and has it. Okay, thank you everyone. Please be seated. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Commissioner Kunosh. This is the 2 p.m. initial appearance calendar for Tuesday, November 11th. Is my understanding correct that I do have a court interpreter on the line?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Good morning, Madam Interpreter. And were you able to confirm with the Spanish speaker that he or she is able to hear you through the headphones?
Señor, ¿me escucha por los audífonos? Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you all. Okay, the court's orders for the taking of DNA samples and fingerprints issued on the first calendar of November will apply to all of the hearings on this calendar. For any crime victims present or listening, I want to advise you that if you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have rights under Arizona law. Among others, those rights include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling, and sentencing. You also have the right to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you a loss. If you have not already been provided a written statement of all of the victims' rights under Arizona law, please contact the Victims' Rights Division of the Prosecutor's Office. Most often, that is the County Attorney's Office. Okay, as we get started in here on the calendar, I will call each of you into the courtroom one at a time. I'll ask one of you to stand behind the gray podium right here in front of me in the courtroom, and then I will ask the next two people that I intend to call into the courtroom to line up in the two chairs right inside this door. I think there are two either blue or green chairs right inside this door facing all of you. So if you would please listen carefully for your name, move from where you are now to the second chair inside the door. From there you'll shift over to the first chair, and then you will be next up in the courtroom. I know that is a lot of chair movement, but I promise you all it will make this calendar run much faster and everybody can get through their court hearing and on to where they need to go a little bit sooner. If you will please cooperate and do that for me. Once you work your way into the courtroom, the first thing I'll do is ask you to state your full name and date of birth. Then I will explain to you why you're here. You all have the right to the assistance of counsel in a criminal case. When you're in the courtroom, I will tell you whether the court is appointing a public defender to represent you. Whether or not you qualify for a public defender, you always have the right to hire a private lawyer at your own expense if you wish to be represented by a private lawyer. While you're in the courtroom, I'm also going to give you the next court hearing dates and times that you'll be required to attend after this court hearing. And the last thing that we'll do while you're in here is talk about whether you are legally eligible for release from custody. If you are, we will go over on what terms and conditions you could get out of jail today. In addition to that right to the assistance of counsel, you all also have the right to remain silent in a criminal case. That means you cannot be forced to make any statements regarding the facts of your case here in the courtroom this afternoon. It's important for you to know, though, that anything you do choose to say in the courtroom could be used against you at any point down the line in these proceedings. Even if you qualify for a public defender, that public defender will not be in the courtroom here today. If you get a court-appointed lawyer, that lawyer will be present starting at your next hearing forward in your case. The reason I tell you that is because I want you to know that anything you say in here could be used against you, and you won't have a lawyer in here to defend you or nudge you and tell you not to say something. So because you won't have a lawyer and because any statements you make could be used against you, I strongly encourage all of you to think very carefully before you do make any statements about the facts of your case here in the courtroom. Last thing I'll tell you all before we get started is that all of the information that you get while you're in the courtroom will be provided to you in a written document, so please don't feel like you need to memorize it as we go through it here in the courtroom. All right, let's go ahead and get started. If we could, please. Officers, could I get one of you kind of between whatever those things are called, between the non-gray podium? Okay, then if I could have Hugo Ilis Hernandez into the courtroom, please, behind the gray podium in front of me. Eliseo Ramirez, if you would please have a seat in the first chair right inside the door. Fabian Ochoa, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Okay, good afternoon, sir. I just want to confirm one more time, are you able to hear the Spanish interpretation through your headphones?
¿Sus audífonos?
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you very much for confirming that. Can I please have your full name and date of birth?
Entonces,
Hugo Islas Hernández, 15 de noviembre del 84.
Hugo Islas Hernandez, November 15, 84, Maricopa County Superior Office.
Thank you very much. You are here on a failure to appear warrant issued by the Paradise Valley Municipal Court. It looks like you allegedly failed to appear on a hearing in a misdemeanor driving under the influence case. I am not making any orders regarding your entitlement to a court-appointed lawyer in that case. If you already have one, that lawyer will stay on and defend you. If you don't have a court-appointed lawyer in that case yet, but you think you're entitled to one, you should raise that with the Paradise Valley judge at your next court hearing, and that judge could appoint a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing on this warrant will be an arraignment hearing November 25th. It will be at 8 o'clock in the morning in the Paradise Valley Municipal Court. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance. That means you would be released from custody today. You would not be required to post a bond. Once you were released from custody, you would be responsible for getting yourself to your next court hearing on November 25th. You would also be ordered not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription once you are out of custody. Do you understand those conditions, Mr. Ilis Hernandez, and do you agree that you'll abide by them if you are released without a bond?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. All of that information will be in your paperwork. You can step back to your left and get that now. If you would, please just hand the headphones to the officer as you pass by. Okay, Ms. Korb, he was the only one I had marked as requesting Spanish interpretation, but before you disconnect, would you please make a general call to the gallery to make sure we don't miss anyone?
¿Hay alguien más que necesite intérprete en español? Si es así, levanten la mano. Any hands?
Okay, I'm told no hands were raised. Thank you again for joining us. You are free to disconnect. All right, can I please have Eliseo Ramirez into the courtroom? Mr. Ochoa, if you would please shift over to the first chair, and then Edward Panfilov, if you would work your way to the second chair. May I please have your name and date of birth?
Eliseo Jose Ramirez, and it's going to be 12/27/2005.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramirez. And it's my understanding the state wishes to appear in this case. Appearance of counsel for the state.
Thank you, Honor. Brooke Gaunt, on behalf of the state.
Good morning, or good afternoon, Ms. Gaunt. Thank you for joining us. Ms. Gaunt, are you wishing to make release recommendations, or you just want to make an oral motion?
I can just make the motion, Your Honor. I did provide a written recommendation regarding release conditions, and I don't need to be heard any further in regards to that.
Okay, let's do your oral motion so we can dispose of that, and then you can correct me if I get something wrong in your written recommendation as we go forward.
Okay.
So, floor is yours.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state is asking to seal the Form 4 and replace it with the redacted version because there was personally identifiable information regarding the victim in the Form 4.
Okay, the court has heard the state's request to seal the Form 4. That request will be granted. The Form 4 in this case will be sealed and replaced with a redacted version. Okay, Mr. Ramirez, let me explain to you what that was, and then we'll get into the substance of your hearing. So when I am reviewing cases that come before this court, the first thing I look at is a document provided by law enforcement called a Form 4. That's the document where law enforcement gives me their version of the facts that brought you here. The state has asked me to seal a copy of that document because the state believes that it has identifying information of the alleged victim in it. So my order sealing that does two things. One, does one thing, doesn't do a second thing. The first thing it does is it makes that document unavailable for the general public to view. Somebody could not just walk into the courthouse, request a copy of that document, and be provided a copy of that document. But what it does not do is prevent you or your lawyers, any defense counsel, from accessing that document for purposes of your defense. So I don't want you to think that me granting that motion to seal prohibits you or your lawyers from accessing that document. It just prohibits the general public from accessing it. Okay, the reason you're here is because the Form 4 provided in this case outlines facts that law enforcement has detailed, indicating that they believe you have committed one count of unlawfully videotaping. It's a Class 5 felony. Based on the information in that document, I did find probable cause to support that allegation. I have appointed a public defender to represent you. That means a lawyer will be present starting at your next hearing going forward in this case. Your next hearing will be a status conference November 25th. Then your next hearing after that will be a preliminary hearing December 1st. Both the 25th and December 1st hearings will be at 8:30 in the morning. They'll both be in the Superior Court downtown. As Ms. Gaunt alluded to earlier, I have received a written recommendation from the state regarding release conditions in this case. The state has requested that you be released to the supervision of pretrial services, and I do find that to be an appropriate request. That is what I will order. That means that you will be released from custody here today. First thing that means is once you're out of custody, you'll be responsible for getting yourself to both of your next court hearings. The second thing that means is that once you're out of custody, you'll be responsible for contacting pretrial services. Their contact information is going to be both in your release paperwork and in a separate packet you get with that paperwork. I think that they are likely closed today, so when you get out of custody today, you may not be able to get a hold of them, but please make them one of your first calls tomorrow morning. Also, once you're out of custody, you can't have contact with any alleged victim in this case, and you cannot possess or consume any drugs without a valid prescription. Okay, did I get anything wrong, Ms. Gaunt?
No, Your Honor. The only thing I would point out, just in case the court did miss it, we did recommend electronic monitoring.
I did miss that. Okay, can you give me a quick basis?
I think given the underlying nature of the allegation, I think as well as the potential for victim contact, I think electronic monitoring would assist regarding general danger to the public as well as to the specific victim.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Gaunt.
And I would just note, I don't believe it's required by the statute as we see in many of the other similar types of offenses.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was trying to look up right now. I have heard the request to impose electronic monitoring. I'm not going to order that. I think the criminal history in this case indicates defendant has no prior failures to appear, partially because it looks like you've never been convicted or charged with a crime before. So it's possible that the state's right that electronic monitoring would help ensure no victim contact, would help assure your compliance with these court orders. But based on the fact that you have no prior criminal history, I am going to hope that this arrest and having to come in here was less than enough, and that you will take these orders seriously. I will give you a chance to prove to the court that you're capable of complying with these orders without additional restrictions like an ankle monitor. But please be advised, Mr. Ramirez, you have heard the court make that, or excuse me, the state make that request here. If the state has any reason to believe that any of these release restrictions have not been complied with on release, I have no reason to believe they wouldn't make that request again, or a potentially more serious request upon proof or indication that any of these conditions have been violated. Okay, anything else, Ms. Gaunt?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, Mr. Ramirez, do you understand these release conditions?
Sure.
Do you have any questions?
For the contacting, I don't have my phone. I think it's still in evidence. Does it matter like where I contact it from, the place?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
It was on the, I think you said it'll be on like the paperwork, but.
Yeah, so the order that I'm making is that you not have contact with the alleged victim. So if you get your phone back, you can use your phone in any way you want to, but regardless of whether it's from your phone, Facebook, Instagram, you can't make any contact with that alleged victim through any medium.
Oh, no, yeah, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about, no, you said I had to go
to call
someplace.
pretrial services.
Yes, that.
Okay, I don't know the situation with your phone. If it was impounded by MCSO when you were brought into jail, they will likely give it back to you once you're processed for release. If it was seized by law enforcement and being held as evidence, I have no control over when or whether you get that back. That will be up to law enforcement. Okay. They will likely continue to hold that phone so long as they believe it has evidentiary value. So if you have no other means of using a phone, if you don't have a friend or family member that you can use a phone for, you do. Okay, so I would say ask a friend if you can borrow their phone to make that call to pretrial services. I think in that packet there would also be a physical address if you wanted to go in to meet with them. I think there might also be an email address in there if that's easier. But take a look at what the paperwork says and you can use any of those ways to contact them. Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ramirez. You can step back to your left and get your paperwork. Any other matters? No, Your Honor. All right. Thank you for joining us. You're free to be excused. Have a great rest of your hall. Oh, you're probably here all day, huh?
No, I'm going to do the 5 from home.
Okay. Well, have a great evening then.
You too.
Okay. Thank you, officer. You can't, if you're assigned to us, feel free to stay, but if you're assigned somewhere else, that was the only one I needed you for. All right. Okay. Fabian Ochoa, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Vanessa Ebanks, if you would work your way to the second chair.
Hello.
Yes, I can. Hi, I'm sorry. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Fabian Ochoa, October 28th of 1989.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ochoa. You are here on allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of dangerous drug possession, which is a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, which is a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause to support those allegations, and I have appointed a public defender to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference November 17th and then a preliminary hearing November 20th. Both of them will be at 8:30 in the morning, both in the Superior Court downtown. Because these allegations are felony offenses alleged to have been committed while you were on pretrial release in a different felony case, you are not eligible for release on bond. That means you will be held in custody without bail, at least until an evidentiary hearing is held. That hearing is scheduled for November 18th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Between now and that hearing on the 18th, though, you will be held without bond. Do you understand that information?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ochoa. You can sit back and get your paperwork. Edward Panfilov, if you would work your way into the courtroom, please. Jamie Sabin, if you would work your way to the second chair. Right behind this podium, if you would. May I please have your name and date of birth?
Eduard Panfilov, 2nd May 1982.
Thank you very much, sir. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 1 count of theft of a means of transportation, that's a Class 3 felony, 1 count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of driving under the influence, that's a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support all of those allegations except the narcotic drug allegation. I did not find probable cause to support that allegation, so I am not considering the drug allegation for purposes of determining your release conditions. You are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer, and I've appointed a public defender to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference November 18th and then a preliminary hearing November 20th, both of them at 8:30 in the morning in the Superior Court downtown. On the allegations supported by probable cause, you have a $2,500 secured appearance bond. You could use a bonding company to post that bond if you choose to. If you do post that bond and you are released from custody, you cannot have contact with any alleged victims or witnesses, and you could not possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
If true, no.
I'm sorry?
If true, no. No, okay.
Not do you agree with them? Do you understand them?
Not understand.
Okay, why do you not understand? Because you need interpretation in another language?
Yes.
What language? What's your native
Russian.
language? Russian? Okay, so if you will take a step back to your left, we'll try to find a Russian interpreter and then we'll call you back up later in the calendar. So if the gallery gets clear, just hang out here and we'll try and get a Russian interpreter. Okay, Vanessa Ebanks, if you would work your way into the courtroom. Lorna Bennett, if you would work your way to the second chair, please. Can I have your name and date of birth?
Vanessa Ebanks, August 16th, 1986.
Thank you, Ms. Ebanks. You are here on a bench warrant issued by the Superior Court when you failed to appear at a trial management conference. The underlying allegations in that existing case are trafficking in stolen property and theft. You have a lawyer already assigned to you in that case. That lawyer will continue to represent you. Your next court hearing will be a status conference November 20th. It'll be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On that warrant, you have a $2,500 secured appearance bond. If you post that and you are released from custody, you cannot have contact with any alleged victims or witnesses, and you cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Ms. Ebanks. You can step back and get your paperwork. Jamie Sabin, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Christopher Woldhall, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
It's Jamie Sabin, 10/15/74.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sabin. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are one count of failing to show driver's license or identification and one count of failing to obey law enforcement. Both of them are Class 2 misdemeanors. I did find probable cause to support those allegations. You are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer at a minimum for purposes of release conditions. That lawyer will be appointed for you by the next judge you see at your next court hearing. That hearing is going to be an arraignment hearing November 14th. It will be at 8:30. It's going to take place in the Santan Justice Court. On those allegations, you have a $1,500 secured appearance bond. If you post that bond and you are released from custody, you will be responsible for getting yourself to your next court hearing. You would also be ordered upon release not to operate a motor vehicle if you don't have a valid driver's license, okay to operate one if you do. Do you understand those conditions?
Yeah, I do, but I mean, I guess it is what it is, but it was a civil ticket, like
well, it's criminal. I mean, the fact that you were arrested and booked into a criminal court means there's criminal allegations pending.
So, but I have to pay $1,500 for what now?
It's a $1,500 bond to secure your appearance, or excuse me, to secure your release from custody.
Today?
You could post that at any point. You could post it as soon as you walk out of this courtroom. You could post it tomorrow. You could post it anytime between now and the 14th to get out of custody.
Okay, so I won't be able to leave until I post that?
That's right, yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
I guess not.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sabin. I need to ask my clerk to reprint your paperwork, but she'll do that, and the officer will bring it right out to you here in just a second if you'll take a step back.
And can I just pay that, like, they've got my card and everything, so.
Yeah, you'll have to ask MCSO. They can give you specific procedures on how to get that bond posted.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sabin.
And can I get that bond back? I mean.
Yeah, so once a bond is posted, it secures your release from custody. So long as you comply with all release conditions of this court and any orders imposed by the Santan court, and you appear at any and all court proceedings, at the conclusion of the case, that bond money is released back to you.
Oh, okay.
It's basically just collateral.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Sabin.
Right.
Go ahead and step back to your left. Lorna Bennett, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Jimmy Manginelli, if you would work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
It's Lorna Ashley Bennett, 9/16/1992.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bennett. You are here on two warrants, both issued by the probation court when you failed to appear at non-witness violation hearings. It looks like you have a lawyer assigned to you in the probation proceedings already. Assuming that's true, that lawyer will stay on the case and continue to defend you. If that's not true, the probation court will will appoint a lawyer for you at your next court hearing. That next hearing is going to be a new non-witness violation hearing in both cases. It will be November 18th at 8:30 in the probation court downtown. On each of the two warrants, you have a $750 secured appearance bond.
Thank you so much.
So your total bond will be $1,500.
Okay.
If you post that, please make sure you get yourself to the probation court on the 18th. And if you're released, upon release, you cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription.
Okay.
Do you understand those conditions?
Yeah, thank you. I get married the 30th, so I appreciate it.
I'm sorry?
I said I get married on the 30th, so I appreciate the bond.
Very good. Well, congratulations and good luck on your marriage.
Okay, thanks.
Go ahead and step back and get your paperwork. Christopher Woldhall, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Josephine Prolix, if you'd work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Christopher Thomas Woldall, June 8, 1988.
Thank you very much, Mr. Woldhall. You are here on 5 different matters. All of them are probation violation warrants. In all 5 cases, petitions to revoke your probation have been filed. They all allege violations of terms 3 and 4. One of the 5 also alleges a violation of term 15. I have appointed a lawyer for you in all 5 cases. Your next court hearing in each of these matters will be a revocation arraignment hearing. It will be November 18th at 8:30 in the morning in the probation court downtown. On 3 of the 5 warrants, you have a $500 secured appearance bond. The 4th is $250. The 5th is $750. So assuming I've done my math right, I think that is a total of $2,500. If you post that and you are released from custody, you cannot possess any weapons or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Woldhall. You can step back and get your paperwork.
Thank you.
Jimmy Manginelli, if you would work your way into the courtroom, please. Luther Cox, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Jimmy Lee McNally, 10/12/1986.
It's pronounced Maganelli.
Yeah, Maganelli.
Maganelli. Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Maganelli. You are here on 3 different matters. The first is allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of dangerous drug possession, which is a class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a class 6 felony. The other 2 matters you're here on are both allegations that those new drug charges violated term 1 of your probation in both of those cases. I have found probable cause for the alleged new violations and the term 1 violations, and I've appointed public defenders to represent you in all 3 cases. Your next court hearings in the new case will be a status conference November 18th and then a preliminary hearing November 20th, both of them at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. Your next hearing in the 2 probation matters will also be the 18th at 8:30. So all 3 of your cases will be heard on the 18th at 8:30. Then you'll have that 1 additional hearing, the 20th, just on the new case. On the 2 probation matters, your bond is $250 each. On the new case, your bond is $50. So that's going to make your total bond $550. It's all secured appearance. That means you could use a bonding company to post that bond. If you do post that and you're released from custody, you cannot possess any weapons and you cannot consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions? Okay, thank you, Mr. Manganelli. My clerk is going to reprint 1 set of your paperwork, so if you would pause, not right there, but pause on grabbing your paperwork. Go ahead, step back to your left. We'll bring it out to you here in just 1 second.
So it's only $500 for me to get out?
$550.
$550.
$500 on the probation, $50 on the new case.
Okay, cool.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Will you reprint 27, please? Okay, thanks. Josephine Prolix, if you would work your way into the courtroom. Michael Trow or Trox, if you'd work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Josephine Peru, 03/2188.
Say your last name again for me.
Peru, like the country.
Ah, okay. Thank you, Ms. Peru. Okay, you are here on allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of dangerous drug possession, that's a class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, which is a class 6 felony. I did find probable cause to support those allegations, and I have appointed a public defender to represent you against them. Your next court hearings will be a status conference November 25th, and then you will have a preliminary hearing December 1st. Both of them are going to be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. I am inclined to release you to the supervision of pretrial services. That means you would get out of custody here today. You would not be required to post a bond, but upon your release, you would be responsible for getting yourself to both of your next court hearings. You would also be ordered upon release to make contact with pretrial services. Their contact information will be in your release paperwork, but you'll also get a little packet with your paperwork. Their contact information will also be in that packet. Once you are released from custody, you would be required not to possess any drugs unless you have a valid prescription for them. Do you understand those conditions, Ms. Peru, and do you agree that you'll abide by them if you're released without a bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much. You can step back and get your paperwork. Luther Cox, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Nicole Hirschfeld, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I please have your name and date of birth?
Luther M. Cox III, date of birth 01/03/82.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cox. You are here on allegations of new charges. Those allegations are one count of narcotic drug possession, that's a class 4 felony, and one count of drug paraphernalia possession, which is a class 6 felony. I did find probable cause to support those allegations, and I have appointed a public defender to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference November 25th, and then you will have a preliminary hearing December 1st. Both of them will be at 8:30, both in the Superior Court downtown. I am inclined to release you to the supervision of pretrial services, so you would be released from custody. You would then be responsible for getting yourself to both of your next court hearings. You would also be required to contact pretrial services upon release. I forgot to tell Ms. Peru this, but I don't think that they're open today, so you will likely have to try to reach them tomorrow. So please don't forget, keep your paperwork, keep that packet so you have all their contact information. Please try to make them one, if not your first call tomorrow morning.
I go to the methadone clinic. I've started methadone because of this habit, and I've almost got to that point where I'm almost off of this. And
Awesome.
I've required charges about 2 weeks ago for paraphernalia because they said that I'd have to keep using while I was working up to a dose to where I'd level
The
out.
methadone clinic told you
Yes.
that?
And
So I
kinda
think
my
you're jumping,
mishap.
I think you're anticipating me telling you you can't have any drugs without a valid prescription once you're on release. That is true. So to the extent that the methadone clinic is telling you that, I would suggest that you get that in writing. I don't know if they can legally or officially prescribe a narcotic drug for you. If they can, I would get a valid prescription for it. If they can't, I would do the best you can to get some sort of documentation that authorizes you or at least requests that you have that.
Yeah.
And without that, perhaps maybe the best option would be an inpatient treatment facility where you're not out in the public with some sort of narcotic drug. I'm certainly not requiring that. I'm certainly not even encouraging that. I'm just trying to offer that as an alternative.
A gentleman earlier advised me about, because I'm a veteran, he told me about Veterans Court.
Yeah.
And he advised me to, that I should probably try Veterans Court.
Talk to your lawyer about that. So at your next court hearing, you'll have a lawyer present. Tell your lawyer that you're interested in the services of Veterans Court. Your lawyer will help you determine whether or not you're eligible for that. I will tell you, though, Mr. Cox, first thing, thank you for your service. Second thing, Veterans Court is a post-disposition therapeutic court. So it may not necessarily be something to help you with this current new case, but it could very well be something that helps you on your path to sobriety and treatment.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else that we need to address?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Go ahead and sit back and get your paperwork. Michael Trox, we'll get it right when you're in the courtroom. Donna Gomez, if you'd work your way to the second chair. Okay, hopefully one of them was the right iteration. Can I have your name and date of birth?
Michael Truex, January 8, 1985.
Okay, nothing that I said. All right, it's Truex. That's right?
Yes.
Truex. Okay, thank you, Mr. Truex. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are one count of disorderly conduct, that's a class 1 misdemeanor, and one count of assault, a class 3 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support those allegations. Because they are misdemeanor allegations, you're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. That doesn't mean you can't have a lawyer. It just means that if you want to have a lawyer defend you in this case, you will have to hire a lawyer at your own expense. Your next court hearing on these allegations will be an arraignment hearing. It'll be December 9th at 1:30 in the Surprise Municipal Court. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance with some restrictions. First, what that means is you would be released from custody today. You would not be required to post a bond. Upon your release from custody, you would be responsible for getting yourself to your next court hearing December 9th in Surprise. You would also be prohibited upon release from initiating contact with the alleged victim, that is physical or otherwise. Because you could not have contact with that alleged victim, you would be prohibited from residing at the same location as that alleged victim. If you currently reside at a shared residence and upon release that would be your primary residence, that would be where you go back to, you would have to find an alternate residence at least until your first hearing on December 9th. You would have one civil standby with local law enforcement. That means a law enforcement officer could escort you to any shared premises if you need to go back there to retrieve clothing, toiletries, anything you have there that you might need between now and December 9th. Please make sure that if you do need to go back to retrieve items that you don't do that unless and until you are accompanied by a law enforcement officer. And if you do that, please retrieve everything or anything that you have at that location that you might need at least until December 9th, because you can only do that one time. Upon release, you would also be prohibited from possessing any weapons and from consuming any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. Last thing, Mr. Truax, is if any orders of protection have been or are later served upon you, you would be required to strictly comply with the terms of those orders in addition to the orders of this court. Do you understand those conditions, and do you agree that you will abide by them if you are released without a bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much. Nicole Hirschfeld, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Eric Appa, if you'd work your way to the second chair, please. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Nicole Hirschfeld, 3/22/1978.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hirschfeld. You are here on 3 different matters. The first one is allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of driving on a suspended license. That's a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support those allegations. The other 2 matters you're here on are allegations that those new violations are Term 1 probation violations in each of your probation cases. I did appoint a public defender to represent you in all 3 cases, in the new case and the 2 probation cases. Your next court hearing in the probation matters will be a revocation arraignment hearing November 18th. It'll be at 8:30 in the probation court downtown. Your next court hearings on the new case will be a status conference November 25th and then a preliminary hearing December 1st. Those will also be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On all 3 of these matters, I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance. That means you would get out of custody and you would be responsible for getting yourself to all 3 of your next court hearings. You would also be required to contact your probation officer within 3 days of release. So by Friday, you must call your probation officer. And also, once you're out of custody, you cannot possess any weapons or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions and agree that you'll abide by them if you're released without a bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much. You can step back and get your paperwork. Donna Gomez, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Gerald Mincy, if you'd work your way to the second chair. Officer, can you make sure that Mincy has or has seen the FOJ card, please? Can I have your name and date of birth?
Donna Gomez, 11/3/73.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gomez. You are here on an arrest warrant that was issued after a direct complaint was filed. A direct complaint is a written document that alleges new allegations against you. The allegations in that direct complaint are 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. In that direct complaint, it alleges that those 2 violations were committed December 6th of 2024. I did appoint a public defender to represent you in that case. Your next court hearings will be a status conference November 25th and then a preliminary hearing December 1st, both of them at 8:30, both in the Superior Court downtown. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance, so you would get out of custody today. You would then be responsible for getting yourself to both of your next court hearings. Upon your release from custody, you would be prohibited from possessing any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions, Ms. Gomez, and do you agree that you'll abide by them if you're released without a bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. You can step back and get your paperwork.
Thank you.
Eric Appa, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Eric James Appa, March 8, 1979.
Thank you very much, Mr. Appa. You are here on an arrest warrant issued after a direct complaint was filed. That direct complaint is a written document that alleges new allegations against you. The allegations in that direct complaint are 2 counts of aggravated driving under the influence, both alleged to have been committed February 4th of 2025. I did appoint a lawyer to represent you in that case. Your next court hearings, I should say this case. In this case, you're going to get a lawyer. Your next court hearings will be a status conference November 25th, and then you will have a preliminary hearing December 1st, both of them at 8:30, both in the Superior Court downtown. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance on this warrant. That means you would get out of custody, and then you would be responsible for getting yourself to your next court hearings. Upon release, you would also be ordered not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions, Mr. Appa, and do you agree that you'll abide by them if you're released without a bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
One more thing.
Sure, go ahead.
I reside on the reservation in White River. Can you ensure that the paperwork is sent to the P.O. box, not the physical address?
I'm not going to send you any paperwork. The only paperwork you're going to get from this court is that paperwork right here that you're going to be handed.
Oh, okay.
So what you'll want to do going forward is at your next court hearing, talk to your lawyer. Make sure that probably communications going forward will just be made to your lawyer, and then you'll just want to communicate with your lawyer. But tell your lawyer if there's a problem with you getting mail, tell your lawyer that, and have your lawyer make sure that the court has your correct mailing address on file.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, sir. Go ahead and sit back and get your paperwork. Mr. Mincy, you're going to be up next. If you have had an opportunity to read through that card, feel free to come on in. If you need a minute, feel free to take it. You've gone through it?
Yeah, I do have a question.
Sure, we're going to go through it, but I want to make sure that you feel like you've had a fair opportunity to read that, and if you want a few more minutes to sit and read it, I want to give you that extra time.
No,
You're okay? All right. Then come on up, give me your name and date of birth, please.
Gerald Mincy, May 8th, 02.
Say your date of birth one more time.
May 8th, 02.
Thank you very much, Mr. I thought you said May, April 02.
Oh, no.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mincy. Okay, I hear you telling me you have a question on that. Let me do some preliminary explanation. I'm going to give you every opportunity to ask any questions you have, but I might be able to answer some of them just before we get there. Okay, your hearing is going to look a little bit different than everybody else's that has already gone. The reason for that is because I am seeing you on a warrant issued by a different state. You're here on a felony arrest warrant issued by the state of Florida. Before Arizona put you on a court docket and brought you into the courtroom, Arizona confirmed with Florida that is a valid warrant. Florida has indicated that they're willing to extradite you on that warrant. That means Florida wants to come to Arizona and take you back to Florida. Because you're here on an out-of-state extraditable warrant, you're going to have a choice between 2 different options to make in this hearing. I will do my best to explain what those 2 options are. I'll give you an opportunity to ask any questions you have about either options, I guess, or otherwise if you have other questions. And then at the end of your hearing, I'm going to ask which option you choose. All right, as I indicated, you're here on an arrest warrant issued by the state of Florida. You will have a choice between 2 different options to make on that warrant. The first option you can make is to waive your right to an extradition hearing here in Arizona and agree to go back to Florida within 30 days. If you don't choose that, the second option you can choose is to demand to have an extradition hearing held here in Arizona and demand that the governors of both Florida and Arizona sign a warrant for your arrest before you could be involuntarily returned to Florida. If you choose that first option and you waive your right to an extradition hearing here in Arizona, first, you are not waiving any rights or defenses you have to the underlying criminal case in Florida. You are only waiving your right to an extradition hearing here in Arizona, and you're agreeing to go back to Florida. If you pick that option, you will be held in custody here in Maricopa County without bond for up to 30 days to allow Florida an opportunity to come get you. That 30-day time period will start tomorrow, so tomorrow would be day 1. Unless you have unresolved criminal charges pending somewhere in Arizona. If you did, day 1 would not be until the day after any Arizona criminal charges reach disposition. So brief recap of option 1, you waive your right to an extradition hearing here in Arizona. You agree to go back to Florida. Florida authorities will have up to 30 days to come get you. You'd stay in custody here in Maricopa County that whole time. You could not be released on bond. If you don't pick that option, your second option is to demand to have an extradition hearing held here in Arizona. If you pick that second option, that hearing will be set for November 24th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Extradition proceedings in Arizona are civil, not criminal. What that means is you could not have a court-appointed lawyer, but if you picked that second option and I set that extradition hearing, you would have the right to hire a lawyer to represent you if you wanted to be represented in the extradition proceedings. If you pick that second option and you have the extradition hearing, you are bond eligible on the Florida warrant. Under Arizona law, your bond would be set at $25,000 cash. If you posted that bond, you would be eligible for release from custody. You could get out of custody. You would be required to stay in Arizona for the duration of your extradition proceedings. Sometimes people say, okay, good, could I post that bond and then just go back and take care of this? The answer to that is no. If you pick that second option, we set the extradition hearing, if you posted that bond, you would have to stay in Arizona. Nothing would stop you from staying in Arizona and calling a lawyer or family in Florida if you have some to try to resolve it, but you could not physically go to Florida. If you pick that second option and I set that extradition hearing, warrants are then sought by the governors of Florida and Arizona. That process of getting both governors to sign a warrant could take up to 90 days. You do remain bond eligible for that whole 90-day time period if you pick that second option. Okay. What questions do you have about either option or otherwise?
Before I get to this, if I choose that second option, and within that 90-day period, I won't be able to leave the state of Arizona, right?
That's right. So if you pick the second option and you post that bond, you would get out of custody, but you would still be required to stay here in Arizona.
Even after the court date that is on November 24th?
That I don't know. So on the 24th, when you go to court, so say you pick option 2, I set that hearing, you post that bond, you're out of custody, you get yourself to your court hearing on the 24th. I don't know what would or would not happen at that court hearing. It's possible Florida authorities would be present, they would make their case, and that judge would say yes to extradition, and they take you that day. Well, I guess they'd have to get governor's warrants, so that probably wouldn't happen by the 24th. Short answer is that would be up to the judge you see on the 24th. So between now and at least the 24th, if you picked that second option and you posted that bond, you'd have to stay here. It is possible that you go to court on the 24th and that judge says, fine, you can travel between here in Florida, here in Nevada, whatever, while your case is pending. But that's an order that has to come from the underlying judge that will see you in the extradition proceedings.
Okay. And also, you told me I have a warrant, but you didn't tell me what my charges was.
I'll do the best I can. Sometimes in these out-of-state warrants, we don't get a whole lot of information. It looks like simple domestic battery, shooting or throwing a missile at a vehicle, culpable negligence, and criminal mischief. It looks like those are the allegations listed in the warrant teletype. I don't know what those technically mean I don't know what the Arizona equivalent of those crimes are. The only other thing I know is the date the warrant was issued.
And what is that? Because I've been traveling back and forth.
10/14/25 is when this warrant was issued. And that actually, it looks like there's 5 counts. So it looks like there might be 2 counts of simple domestic battery, 1 shooting at a vehicle, 1 culpable negligence, 1 criminal mischief. So
what is 2 counts?
2 counts of simple domestic battery. I don't know what the elements of that are under Florida law. So when we get warrants from other states, we don't often get a whole lot of information.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting is a brief summary of the charges. So it just says CT1, which to me means count one. Count one of whatever that underlying charging document is simple domestic battery. Count two is shooting or throwing a missile at a vehicle. Count three is culpable negligence. Count four, simple domestic battery. Count five. I don't know. Those all seem to be Florida code, Florida crimes.
And which is a felony for? I wasn't unaware of these charges.
I don't know if, I know at least one of them is a felony. I don't know if all of them are. It just says felony warrant issued. So it is possible all five of those are felony allegations, but at least one of them is.
And that one is the one I have to pay the $25,000.
Well, that's total for this whole case. It looks like one charging document with 5 counts. At least one of the 5 counts is a felony. It's possible all 5 of them are.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm sorry I don't have much more information for you, but that's what I have from the warrant.
Yeah, I'm confused as how you is. But the question is, if you cannot post bail, then you will be kept in custody until the governor warrant issue.
Yeah.
But if you are released on bail, you will be rearrested when the governor.
Yeah, so once the governor's warrants are issued, so in that second option, governor's warrants have to be signed by both governors before you could be extradited. Once both governors sign a warrant, then you would be taken back into custody here in Arizona for transportation to Florida.
I can't do that on my own.
I don't think so, but again, that if you can, probably not, but if governor's warrants are issued and you're authorized to self-transport back to Florida, that's another order that would have to come from the extradition judge.
That's the hearing on the 24th, right?
That judge, yeah.
That judge. And then, like, how would that rearrest process look like? Would I just turn myself in, or would you guys?
I think it depends on the circumstances. If those governor's warrants are issued and that happens close to a time that you have a court hearing, they might remand you in court. I guess I don't know enough about how you know when those warrants get issued, if you know about them because somebody shows up and arrests you. But I think if you're participating in the extradition proceedings, my best guess would be that it wouldn't be a surprise to you that the governor's warrant was issued. You would have some sort of notice and you would likely be asked to surrender at a certain point.
Yeah. And the last question, I don't think you probably would know this, but if I had a warrant, why wasn't I stop at the airports and stuff like that?
Well, I don't know because I don't know what warrant checks TSA runs. I mean, I've flown multiple times and I don't think that the airport authorities are running warrant checks.
But no, I flew out of Florida to different places within this past.
I think that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Either they're not running warrant checks.
If I knew I had a warrant.
Sure. It's possible that those authorities didn't run a warrant check and they didn't know, or they hit the warrant hit and they said, for whatever reason, we're not taking you into custody. I can't speak to why you haven't been previously arrested, but if you've traveled since October 14th, so a little over a month ago, it looks like the warrant was active at that point. So either there was a conscious decision not to make an arrest on it, or they didn't run a warrant check and they didn't know it was out there.
Mm-hmm. And then, sorry, last question. You said I would be here 30 days until they will come to get me?
If you pick the first option and you waive your right to extradition, yeah, you would stay here for up to 30 days. Florida could come get you tomorrow. They could come on day 7, but they'd have the full 30 days to come get you.
And how would I make bond? Who?
In that first option?
The second option.
Second option. If you pick the second option and you post that bond.
Who can I call to post that bond?
It is possible you could go through a bonding company. So you could call anyone. I mean, you could call friends, family, but back in the jail facility, if you wanted to try to go through a bonding company, you could find a list of bonding companies and their phone numbers. You could start making those calls as soon as MCSO lets you get to a phone.
Okay, but if I use that second option and I'm not able to bond out, would I still be here for the 30 days?
It would be potentially up to 90 at that point.
So.
Because in the second option, you have to wait for governor's warrants.
Yeah.
And so that could take up to 90 days. So if you pick the second option and you didn't post that bond ever, you could be in custody for up to 90 days.
Instead of the 30 days?
Instead of the 30.
Well, that's
but you're bond eligible. In the first option, you don't have the option of getting out.
But you said Florida could get me tomorrow, though, right?
They could. I don't know how quickly other states come, so I don't want you to hear me say they're gonna come tomorrow. It's possible that they will not come until day 30.
I just don't know, like, how a bonding situation works, like how, if I'm able to make a $25,000 bond.
Yeah, so generally speaking, the 3 ways that you can post a bond are somebody could go post the full amount for you at the 4th Avenue Bonds and Fines Office. You could use or get money on your jail book. So if you had $25,000 on your books, you could use that to self-bond out, or you could go through a bonding company. Those are the general 3 ways to do it. What requirements a bonding company might impose, I don't know. So if you wanted to go through that option, you probably just have to find one of those lists and call them.
All right, thank you so much. And you said that bond amount would be received back to me on the 24th?
Yeah, so bond, it may not be on the 24th, but when you post a bond to secure your release from custody, so long as you comply with all the conditions imposed by this court and the court you see on the 24th, and you appear at all of your court hearings, at the total conclusion of your case, that bond money is released to the person that posted it. So if a bonding company posts that on your behalf, that bond money would be released back to the bonding company. If you posted it, it would go back to you. If a family member posted it, it would go back to them.
All right, thank you so much.
Any other questions?
No. Do I need to tell you what option?
Yes, I need to know which option you want to pick.
I do too.
You want to pick the second option? Okay, then I will set that hearing for November 24th at 1:30. You will have a $25,000 cash bond. You will have the opportunity to waive on the 24th. If you decide, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, I just want to agree to go back, you can do that on the 24th. So you could, on the 24th, say, I changed my mind, I picked option 1. You could do that on the 24th. If you wanted to, you don't have to. Okay, any final questions for me? All right, thank you, Mr. Mincy. We'll get your paperwork printed. We didn't have yours pre-printed because we didn't know which option you picked. So we'll get that printed and we will bring it out to you. Thank you very much.
I'm going to lead us here?
Yes, please, that'd be great. Do we have a Russian interpreter? Are they going to do simultaneous? Is it Lyman Bridge or something? Okay. Hi, good afternoon. Do I have a Russian interpreter on the line? Good afternoon. Do I have a Russian interpreter?
Добрый день, русскоязычный переводчик на линии.
Hi, sir. Is this a Russian interpreter?
Yes, ma'am. This is a Russian interpreter speaking.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. I have my Russian-speaking individual in front of me in the courtroom. Are you ready to proceed?
I am ready.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for rejoining us, Mr. Panfilov. As you can hear, we do have a Russian interpreter on the line now.
Спасибо, что переприсоединились к нам, мистер Пенсилов, и мы имеем русскоязычного переводчика на линии.
He will interpret what I say from English to Russian. I ask that you please participate in this hearing if you choose to in Russian, allowing the interpreter an opportunity to interpret that back into English. That's true even if you understand some of what I say in English.
Она будет переводить нам английский на русский, не знаю, кто она, но она сказала она. И вы, пожалуйста, давайте время переводчику, даже если вы понимаете, о чем идет речь, чтобы переводчик полностью закончил свое предложение.
All right. Can I please have your full name and date of birth?
Пожалуйста, представьтесь имя, фамилия, дата рождения.
Панфилов Эдуард, 2 мая 1982 год.
Edward Panfilov, May 2nd, 1982.
Thank you very much, Mr. Panfilov. You are here on allegations of new charges.
Спасибо вам, мистер Панфилов. Вы здесь присутствуете по новым обвинениям.
Those allegations are 1 count of theft of a means of transportation, a Class 3 felony.
Это обвинение по 3-му классу мошенничества.
1 count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony.
И также по тому, что у вас были при себе наркотики класса 4.
1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony.
Также 6-й класс тяжкого преступления по передаче наркотических средств.
And 1 count of driving under the influence, a Class 1 misdemeanor.
И также 1-й класс обвинения по введению транспортного средства под влиянием веществ.
The information provided to me by law enforcement is sufficient to establish the elements of all of these allegations except the narcotic drug allegation.
Информация, которую мне предоставило обвинение, достаточно для того, чтобы обосновать все обвинения, кроме то, что у вас были при себе наркотики.
That means I am not considering that narcotic drug allegation for purposes of this hearing.
Это значит, что я не буду рассматривать то, что у вас были при себе наркотики на этом слушании. Это обвинение рассматриваться не будет.
You are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer to defend you, and I've appointed a public defender to represent you.
У вас есть право на то, чтобы вас представлял адвокат или общественный адвокат, любой, которого вы выберете.
Your next court hearings will be a status conference November 18th.
Ваше следующее слушание будет назначено на 18 ноября.
And then a preliminary hearing November 20th.
И последующее слушание будет 20 ноября.
Both of those hearings will be at 8:30 in the morning in the Superior Court downtown.
Оба эти суда будут в 8:30 утра в центре, в высшем суде.
On these allegations, you have a $2,500 secured appearance bond.
По этим обвинениям у вас есть $2500 внести залога, возможность.
Secured appearance means that you could use a bonding company to post that if you choose to.
Это значит, что за вас может поручиться какая-то компания по залогам, если вы выберете.
If you do post that bond and you are released from custody, you could not have contact with any alleged victims or witnesses of the underlying offenses.
Это будет означать, что если вы внесете залог, тогда вы не сможете связываться с свидетелями, которые проходят по этому делу.
And you would be prohibited upon release if you post that bond from possessing any drugs without a valid prescription.
И вас не смогут освободить под залог, если вы будете и дальше обладать какими-то наркотическими средствами даже по рецепту.
Okay, now that we were able to get all of that done in Russian, do you understand those conditions?
Поняли вы все, что было вам сказано на русском языке, все условия?
Yes. Только небольшой вопрос. Деньги я должен внести в какой период? Сейчас у меня есть какое-то время. Я так понимаю, я должен внести деньги, извиняюсь.
Just one little question. Which time frame do I have to bring in the money?
There is no time limit on that. You just cannot be released from custody unless and until that is posted.
Ограничения по времени нет никакого, просто вас не выпустят до тех пор, пока они не будут внесены.
So you could post it at any point between now and your first hearing on the 18th and get out of custody?
То есть вы можете их внести от сейчас до первого слушания, до 18 ноября в любое время, и тогда вас смогут выпустить.
If between now and the 18th you do not post that, you would stay in custody and be transported to that hearing on the 18th. And then what would happen after would be up to the judge you see on the 18th.
То есть вас будут содержать под стражей сейчас до 18 числа. Если вы до 18 числа деньги не внесете, то вас транспортируют сюда на слушание 18 числа, а потом по решению судьи будут дальше уже распоряжаться вашей свободой.
Any other questions?
Еще вопросы?
То есть сейчас, если я не несу деньги, я не выхожу отсюда, правильно я понял?
So just to clarify, if I don't bring in the money now, I cannot be released.
Correct.
Верно.
Any final matters?
No.
Еще рассуждение?
Ну, позвонить вот по поводу машины угона. Могу я позвонить, связаться с боссом и поговорить как-то, прояснить эту ситуацию? Потому что это мой босс, и долгая история, как говорится, просто надо с ним связаться и обсудить все это. Это реально или нет?
Long story short, can I contact my boss because that auto theft belongs to my boss. The vehicle belongs to my boss, and I'd like to contact my boss.
And
At least between now and the 18th, if your boss is the alleged victim of the theft of a means allegation, you cannot attempt to contact him or her.
Нет, до 18 числа, если ваш босс проходит как пострадавшая сторона по вашим обвинениям, то вы не имеете права связываться.
If you think that he or she has information relevant to this case, you could talk to your lawyer about that and have your lawyer reach out to your boss.
Если вы думаете, что он или она, ваш босс, имеет информацию, связанную с преступлением, и она может вам помочь, эта информация, то вы можете попросить вашего адвоката связаться с вашим начальником.
Your lawyer will be present at your first court hearing, and you will have the phone number to the public defender's office in your release paperwork if you wanted to try to reach a lawyer prior to that hearing.
Вообще адвокат будет на вашем первом слушании, но до слушания вы также получите номера телефонов бесплатных правозащитников, и если захотите связаться с ними до слушания, то сможете этим воспользоваться.
У меня нет адвоката, да, я буду пользоваться государственным адвокатом. Спасибо.
Yes, I don't have a lawyer. I would use a state lawyer.
Yeah, you have one. I've appointed one for you.
Да, у вас уже есть, я вам предложу кое-кого.
So that lawyer will start representing you at your next court hearing, but if you wanted to try to reach that lawyer before that hearing, you could use the number in your release paperwork to call.
У вас адвокат, он будет вас представлять на слушании, но если вы хотите связаться прежде слушания, то я вам дам такую возможность.
Я просто не знаю, как мне связаться с другими друзьями, сестренкой, объяснить ситуацию, смогут ли они внести за меня деньги или нет. Я просто думаю, как вот это сделать.
I just don't know if I'm able to contact my friends and my sisters to ask them to pay for me. I just don't know if they are able to.
Yeah, so I don't know if they would be able to or not either, but you do have the opportunity to make any phone calls that you want to when you get back into the jail facility.
Я не знаю, смогут они вам помочь или нет, но когда вы в тюремное заведение снова вернетесь, в, скажем так, место, где вас будут содержать, то вы сможете позвонить.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Panfilov. You can step back and get your paperwork.
Спасибо. Thank you very much.
Спасибо, мистер. Is there anything else the interpreter can assist you with?
There is nothing else. That was the only one. Thank you very much for your help. Please enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are.
Thank you for calling Line Break. Interpreter 2475 disconnected.
All right, number 7 on the calendar, Arthur Joseph Garcia, date of birth 3/28/84, is not in the courtroom because he was unable to function in general population. He is here on allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. He's also here on 1 count of failing to stop on police command. That's a Class 2 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support those allegations and appointed a public defender to represent him. His next court hearings will be a status conference November 25th and a preliminary hearing December 1st, both at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. I do intend to release him to the supervision of pretrial services. If anything changes after I visit him cell side, the court's final orders regarding the conditions of his release will be reflected in his written release paperwork. That concludes the 2 p.m. initial appearance calendar. This court will stand in recess until 5 p.m.
She should be on her way shortly.
All right.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. This is the 5 p.m. initial appearance hearing calendar for November 11th, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month will apply to all matters on this calendar. As you just heard in the recording, this is for a very specific type of hearing. I will tell you why you are here, if an attorney has been appointed for you, when and where your next hearing will be, if you are eligible for bond or bail, what your release conditions are. I will not read all your release conditions to you. Most of you will have the standard ones, which include keep the court updated with your address, no driving without a valid license, no drugs without a valid prescription, and do not contact the arresting officers. If your matters are different and have specific release conditions, I may point them out to you, but it is your responsibility to read through them and make sure you do not accidentally violate them. You are all here today on criminal matters. That means you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do may be held against you. These hearings are being recorded as well as broadcast live. I will ask you for your name and your date of birth as I call you into the hearing room. There is a podium in the center of this room. I'll call each of you individually. I'll call a second person's name. Please sit by the door so that we can move expeditiously. Because these hearings are broadcast live, we do have victims that may be watching the hearings, and so I will read the victim rights advisement. If you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling, and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you loss. If you have not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. Okay. No LEP? Okay. Okay. So we'll begin. Again, I will say one person's name to come into the hearing room. The second person, just have a seat right there by the door. Mr. Joseph Williams, please come to the podium. Mr. Benjamin Hernandez, have a seat by the door. Right here, sir, right in the center. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Hello, ma'am. How you doing? My name is Joseph Williams. Date of birth 05/23, 1980.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on an out-of-county warrant. It appears that Navajo County would like you back. There's allegations of a probation violation. So an attorney will be appointed for you at your next hearing, and that will be at the Navajo County Superior Court on November 19th at 8:30 in the morning. You are still eligible for bond today. It is a $2,500 secured appearance bond. If you are able to pay that bond, make sure you get yourself to your hearing. If you are not able to pay the bond, you will remain in custody and be transported to the hearing, and then the judge there may change these orders. Please take your paperwork and have a seat.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Benjamin Hernandez, please come to the podium. Richard Hernandez Flores, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Benjamin Garcia Hernandez, 12/12/1984.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on two matters. They're both probation violation warrants. It's alleged that you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation, so an attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your revocation arraignment hearing will be downtown Phoenix on November 18th at 8:30 in the morning. One of your violation warrants has a $500 bond, the other one is $250, so together that's $750 secured appearance bond. If you're able to pay that bond, contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release and go to your hearings. If you are not able to pay the bond, you will remain in custody and be transported to the hearings, and then the next judge may change these orders. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Richard Hernandez Flores, please come to the podium. Ilwana Gordon, have a seat by the door.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Please say your name and your date of birth.
Richard Hernandez Flores, 5888, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a justice court warrant alleging driving under the influence and driving under the influence with a blood alcohol content of 0.08 or more. These are both being alleged as misdemeanors, but an attorney has been appointed to assist you because it is a driving under the influence matter. Your next hearing is at the Hassayampa Justice Court. That is set for November 17th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release today with a secured appearance bond of $500. If you are able to pay that bond, make sure you go to your hearing. If you are not able to pay the bond, you will remain in custody and be transported to the hearing, and then the next judge may change these orders. Please take your paperwork.
Your Honor, may I have a word?
Yes, sir.
I have to go to work, and I really don't have any money right now. I'm not trying to sound desperate or anything, but my fiance is 2 months pregnant, and it's putting a lot of stress on her. I understand it's my fault, and I accept full responsibility for my actions. I just would like to ask that maybe you can release me to pretrial services. I will comply with all their orders. We're falling on some hard times right now, Your Honor, and money is definitely an issue, but I will show up because I do need to get this matter rectified before my child comes. So
I appreciate your circumstance and your argument. However, the information I have shows that you have 7 failures to appear, and that is why there is a bond set today.
yes, Your Honor. I called the surprise court numerous times trying to get this matter resolved.
So this is not from that court. This is from overall 7 failures to appear.
Yeah, I'm aware of that now. I had no idea. I was supposed to receive something in the mail from Surprise.
Okay.
And I called them, and they kind of like...
So this is Hassayampa, and their phone number is included here. It's not Surprise. So this might be something else.
Yeah.
You can use a bail bondsman, but this is going to be the order of the court. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Ilwana Gordon, please come to the podium. Juan Minjares, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Ilana Gordon, January 31st, 1999.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on a probation violation warrant. It's alleged that you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. So an attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on November 18th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release today. It is a secured appearance bond of $500. If you are able to pay that, you'll be released to your probation officer's supervision, so make sure to call them and go to your hearing. If you are not able to pay your bond, you will remain in custody and be transported to your hearing. The next judge may change these orders. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Juan Minjares, please come to the podium. Antonio Iguado, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Juan Manuel Minjares, January 24th, 1980.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a municipal court case regarding disorderly conduct and assault. They're both alleged as misdemeanors. This court is going to appoint an attorney to assist you because they may be domestic violence in nature. Or excuse me, this is not a domestic violence case. You are getting an attorney appointed, though, because of the bond. That is why. So your next hearing is at the Goodyear Municipal Court on November 19th at 8:30 in the morning. And because there is a $500 secured appearance bond, an attorney will be there to represent you on the matter of bond only. If you'd like to hire your own attorney to represent you about the merits of the case, you may do so, or you may represent yourself. If you are able to pay the bond, you are not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with the alleged victim, witnesses, or complainants. So if you are out of custody, I have included the Goodyear Municipal Court's phone number for you as well, so you can go prepared to your hearing with whatever you need to bring along. All this information is on your paperwork.
So I have to pay you right now, $500?
In order to be released before the hearing, you would need to post your bond.
Okay,
Yes,
and I'm sorry, when was the court?
The hearing date is November 19th at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Okay, please take your paperwork and have a seat. Antonio Iguado, please come to the podium. Julian Montano, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and your date of birth.
My name is Antonio Iguado. Date of birth is 10/10/93.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a new case. It was alleged that you had dangerous drugs in your possession, which is a Class 4 felony. Also, drug paraphernalia, which is a Class 6 felony. Also, criminal trespassing into a residential yard and criminal damage, those are misdemeanors. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing will be downtown Phoenix, and that will be on November 18th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release today under a secured appearance bond of $250. If you are able to make that bond, you will be released under pretrial services supervision. You are not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with the alleged victim, witnesses, or complainants. If an order of harassment is issued against you, be sure to follow that court order. If you are not able to pay the bond, you will remain in custody and be transported to the hearing, and then the next judge may change these orders. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Julian Montano, please come to the podium. Jimmy Soard, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Julian Montano, 5/13/77.
Thank you, sir. You're here on a probation violation warrant. It alleges that you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation, so an attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your revocation arraignment hearing will be downtown on November 18th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for bond today. It's a secured appearance bond of $250. If you are able to pay that bond, call your probation officer and go to your hearing. If you are not able to pay the bond, you will remain in custody and be transported to the hearing, and the next judge may change these orders.
Okay.
Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Thank you, sir. Jimmy Sword, or Sword, please come to the podium. After that will be Bernadine Huxhold. Have a seat by the door. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Jimmy Sword, 9/7/72.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a probation violation warrant. It's alleging that you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. So an attorney has been appointed to assist you at your hearing downtown Phoenix on November 18th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release under a $250 secured appearance bond. If you are able to pay the bond, call your probation officer and go to your hearing. If you are not able to pay the bond, you will remain in custody and be transported to the hearing. Sir, I see that you're here appearing in all orange. Are you being held on another matter?
No.
Okay. So if you pay the bond and are released, make sure you go to your hearing or they will issue another warrant for your arrest.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Bernadine Huxhold, please come to the podium. Jonathan Massett, have a seat by the door.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Please say your name and your
Bernadine Natalie Huxhold, 21177.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on a probation violation warrant. It's alleged that you violated term 5 of your probation.
What is that?
Term 5. It is, the defendant did not receive prior approval before changing residences. Whereabouts unknown since October 18, 2025. Attempts to locate included phone call to family members.
Yeah, we're stuck in the middle of nowhere, so the reception totally bites out there.
Okay. So they issued a warrant for your arrest.
Yeah, I understand.
So an attorney has been appointed to help you. Your next hearing is November 18th, and that's at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release. It is a secured appearance bond of $250.
What is, what they call it, pretrial services? What is that?
That's not something that you would be eligible for today.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Okay. So if you're able to pay the $250, then you would be able to be released. Make sure you go to your hearing and call your probation officer within 72 hours.
Okay.
If you are not able to pay the bond, you will remain in custody and be transported to your hearing.
Okay.
Okay. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Thank you, ma'am. Jonathan Massett, please come to the podium. Wyatt Deswood, have a seat by the door.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Jonathan Brian Massett, March 25th, 1992.
Okay. You're here today on a municipal court case regarding shoplifting, a removal of goods, and shoplifting concealment. These are both being alleged as misdemeanors, so you are not entitled to an attorney, but you can hire one or you can represent yourself. Your next hearing is at the Goodyear Municipal Court on November 26th at 1 p.m. I have included their phone number for you as well so that when you are released, you contact them and make sure you are prepared for your hearing. If you miss that hearing, they will issue a failure to appear warrant for your arrest. All the information is included in your paperwork, including do not go back to the scene of the alleged crime, especially any Circle K at Litchfield Road.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Please take your paperwork and have a seat.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I'm going to go a little out of order. I'm going to call Rogelio Angulo. Please come to the podium. Rogelio Angulo. No, I don't think that's him. I think that's Mr. Wyatt. If you'll have a seat, Mr. Wyatt. Thank you. All right. My order got a little mixed up. I apologize. Please say your name and date of birth.
Rogelio Angulo, 41785.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You're here today on a municipal court case. It was alleged that you committed disorderly conduct or fighting, and an attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing is at the El Mirage Municipal Court. It's on November 17th at 10 a.m. You do have an attorney appointed to assist you because this is a domestic violence case. And because there is a safety risk to the victims and witnesses, there is a $500 secured appearance bond.
What does that mean?
That means you have to pay $500 secured appearance bond in order to be released. If you are able to make that payment, you are not to return to the alleged scene of the crime or have any contact with the alleged victim, witnesses, or complainant. I understand the victims include both your son and your spouse.
It was just my son.
And that this was your residence. So I need to caution you, sir, any contact with them may constitute an aggravated harassment charge. That's a Class 6 felony. So you'd be going from misdemeanors up to a felony if you did that. However, I understand this is your residence where you live, and so I have included a court order for you that if you are released, you may go one time with law enforcement escort to retrieve necessary things like your identification, medication, clothing for you between now and the hearing date. If you are not able to postpone, sir, you will remain in custody and you will be transported to your hearing, and the next judge may change these orders. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Thank you, sir. Mr. Wyatt, please come to the podium. After that will be Paul Cruz.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello. Thank you for your patience. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Wyatt James Desmond, 05/13/96.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a municipal court warrant alleging obstruction of justice, which is a misdemeanor. So an attorney has not been appointed for you in this case because it's a misdemeanor. Your next hearing is at the Goodyear Municipal Court on November 26th at 1 p.m. You are going to be released today on your promise to go to that hearing, and I have included Goodyear's phone number for you as well. Please call ahead and make sure you get this taken care of so they don't keep issuing warrants for you.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. I
Please take your
appreciate your
paperwork.
time. Thank you, ma'am.
Paul Cruz, please come to the podium, and then after that will be Philip Aguilar.
Good afternoon.
Please say your name and your date of birth.
Paul Cruz, 11/18/1990.
Thank you, sir. You're here on a justice court warrant regarding driving with a suspended or canceled license. That's a misdemeanor. This court is not able to appoint an attorney for you, but you can hire one or represent yourself. Your next hearing is at the Manistee Justice Court, November 26th at 10:30 in the morning. You are going to be released today on your promise to go get this taken care of so they don't keep issuing warrants for
Absolutely.
you. Their phone number is included on the paperwork. Okay.
I
Please
appreciate
make sure
you. You have a blessed night.
Yeah. Philip Aguilar, please come to the podium. Mr. Aguilar, you are a little different because you're here as a fugitive of justice. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Philip Henry Aguilar, ma'am. 7676.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So it appears that Seward County would like to have you back, and they have issued a warrant for you, and that is out of Kansas.
Yeah, I was born and raised there. Yeah, my father and I were in a disagreement. He pressed charge. Yeah,
Yes, he
it's a
did.
long story.
So-
He told me, ma'am. Yeah.
This
Okay.
is being recorded as
Okay.
well as broadcast, and you should talk to your attorney about the merits of your case. But what we're going to discuss right now is that you have a choice to make. Did you receive that placard?
Yes, I don't understand the big words, but I would like the opportunity to pay for, is it 10,000 bond or something like that?
Okay, so let me explain your options to
Okay,
you.
yeah.
All right, so right now you have a choice to make. You can waive having an extradition hearing and stay in custody in Maricopa County for 30 days, starting tomorrow, as long as you don't have any other Arizona cases pending.
Nothing.
And that would allow Kansas to come and pick you up. If at the end of 30 days they don't come and pick you up, you would be released. Or you can demand to have your extradition hearing. Your extradition hearing is a civil hearing where you may hire your own attorney, and at that extradition hearing, they would argue about whether or not a governor's warrant would need to be issued. If a governor's warrant is issued, then the governor of both Kansas and Arizona would have 90 days to sign it, and once it's signed, once that governor's warrant is signed, then they would come to arrest you again and extradite you to Kansas.
Okay.
So if you choose to have that civil extradition hearing, I would set the hearing date for you. It would be November 24th, and you would be eligible for release. The bond amount, though, is $50,000, secured appearance bond. So you could use a bail bondsman for that, but that is what their bond is. It's $50,000. So if you would like me to, I can set the hearing, set the bond, and if you can pay it, you'd be released. Otherwise, you'd be held in custody until that hearing date, 11/24, and then you would see the judge about that as well. Or you can waive the hearing, and then you'll be held in custody for up to 30 days for Kansas to come and pick you up.
And is there a chance that they can get me in another week, or you just never know, right?
They have up until 30 days, so it would be until December 12th, because the 30 days start tomorrow.
My father said they removed this whole thing, so I'm confused. Like,
Okay, so
the option is the bonds. I got so much responsibility, including my father. The bonds. I'm confused about. If I'd rather put my house on collateral, is that an option with the bondsman?
with the bail bondsman, you can discuss things like that.
And I can, and then I can sign and then be released after that? Is that the thing?
Right, you would work out your bond with the bail bondsman.
Uh-huh.
If you don't have 50,000 secured,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah, I have two homes, equity, yeah.
So let me read to you if you want to,
I'd rather do that, man.
okay, so we're going to set bond. So you are not going to waive your right, and I am going to go ahead and set your bond, and it is a secured appearance bond because of what the warrant says.
Yes, ma'am.
50,000.
I do want to handle this situation immediately.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
That's my hometown, ma'am. I'm not.
So this is what will happen. You now have a hearing on November 24th at 1:30 in the afternoon. You can go by yourself, or you can hire an attorney to represent you. It is a civil matter, so this court cannot appoint one. In order to be released from this facility or from Maricopa custody, you will have to post bond. It is a secured appearance bond of $50,000.
Okay. Can I have one more question, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
I paid the bonds. I've heard that I can receive that money back after. Is it possible?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. Yes.
Okay.
In fact, that's the way it should work. You attend all your hearings and you follow through, and eventually the state will give you your money back. It's just there to ensure that you go to your hearings.
Okay, and do I have to receipt, do I have to send it, request it to the state?
Yes, but that's the thing to talk about with your attorney, about the process of getting your money back.
I'm hoping, God, I don't need an attorney. It's.
Okay, well, you might want one, just so they can explain all the legal.
It's my father. We talk every day.
Okay.
It's very, it's, you know, I'm dealing with my father, that's old. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well-
it's a very emotional time with me. I love my father. My mother just passed away. He's taking a heart. He's just upset right now. I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss,
Yeah,
sir. I hope
thank
you
you.
are able to sort this out. The court's orders are on that paperwork if you'd like to review them, and then they will assist you in the detention facility with contacting a bail bondsman.
Okay,
Okay.
does that take a while to contact on the bail bondsman, or?
That is depending on what's going on in there.
Okay, yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Okay.
Please take your paperwork and follow their instructions. Thank you, sir. This was our last matter for the 5 p.m. calendar. The initial appearance hearing calendar is now in recess until 8 p.m. Please be seated. Good evening. This is the 8 p.m. initial appearance hearing for November 11th, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters in this calendar. As you just heard in the recording, this is a very specific type of hearing. I will tell you why you are here, if an attorney will be appointed for you, when and where your next hearing will be, if you are eligible for release, what the conditions are, and what the bond amount might be. I will not read all the release conditions to you. That is your responsibility, but I may point out one or two that are specific to your matter. You are all here in criminal cases. That means that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do may be held against you. These hearings are being broadcast as well as recorded. I will only ask you for your name and for your date of birth as I call you in. I'll call you in one at a time to the podium here in the center of the room, and then I'll call a second person's name to have a seat in that chair that's right by the door. There are victims watching most likely today, so we will read the victim's rights advisement, and then we'll get started. If you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling, and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you loss. If you have not already been provided a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. We'll begin today with Cassius Ivory. Please come to the podium. And Cameron Johnson, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Cassius Ivory, 12/19/1992.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a new case. It is alleged that you committed organized retail theft, which is a Class 4 felony. An attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing will be downtown Phoenix, and that's on November 18th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for bond. It is a secured appearance bond of $25,000. And this court wanted to make you aware you have several cases that are going on. Because of the timing of the allegations in this case, you are still eligible for bond. If you had been still on felony release in your other case, you would not be eligible for bond. So I just wanted to caution you that under the statutes, they are very specific. If you're on felony release and a new felony is committed, you are not eligible for release. I do see that you are all in orange. Are you being held on another matter today?
Yes.
Okay. So don't pay your bond until you've talked to your attorney or figured out if you would actually be able to be released. Because if you paid this but you're still being held on something else, they might not release you. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Cameron Johnson, please come to the podium. After that will be Megan Singleton.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Please say your name and your date of birth.
Yes, ma'am. It'll be Cameron Taylor Johnson, and it'll be Cameron with the K, and then 2/11/2000, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a new case. It is alleged that you resisted arrest, causing physical injury, which is a Class 6 felony, that you committed theft, criminal damage, and then assault. Those are all misdemeanors.
Yeah.
This court did find probable cause and has appointed an attorney to assist you. In considering the release conditions today, there was a victim statement that was read through. So your next hearing will be November 18th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for a secured appearance bond. It is $25,000. If you are able to pay that bond, you will be released with electronic monitoring. That will restrict where and when you can go places. You are not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with the alleged victim, witnesses, or complainants. I do understand that may be your residence or was, and so there is an order included that you may go one time with law enforcement to retrieve items like your identification, medications, clothing you may need for the hearing. But you must be escorted, so you have to contact law enforcement first, show them your court order, and they will go with you. You cannot go alone. If you are not able to pay the bond, you will be held in custody and you will be transported to your next hearing, and then the judge there may change these orders. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Megan Singleton, please come to the podium. Amanda Diolos, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Megan Singleton, 7/20/1990.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on 3 matters. It looks like they are all probation violation warrants. It's alleged that you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. So an attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing is a revocation arraignment hearing. It's downtown Phoenix on November 18th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for bond, and the total, when you add them all up, is $1,000. So one of them is $250, the other one is $500, so the last one is also $250. If you are able to pay all your bonds, don't just pay one, and are able to be released, call your probation officer within 72 hours and go to your hearing. If you are not able to pay the bond, you will remain in custody and be transported to the hearing. The next judge may change these orders. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Amanda Deolos, please come to the podium. Devin Noland, have a seat by the door.
Hello.
Please say your name and your date of birth.
Amanda Monique Bellios, and it's 9/29 of 87.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on 2 matters. The first one is a new case. It's alleged that you committed criminal trespassing in a residential structure. That's a Class 6 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing will be downtown Phoenix on November 18th at 8:30 in the morning, and you are eligible for bond. It's a placeholder bond of $50 on this matter because you do have another matter. But there are release conditions. Do not return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with the alleged victim, witnesses, or complainants. No weapons, no drugs, no alcohol, and contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Your other matter before this court is the probation violation warrant. It is alleging that you violated terms 3 and 5. On this one, an attorney has also been appointed to assist you, and your next hearing is downtown on the same day, November 18th. So it's very important that you let the officers know when you go to court, whether you go on your own or if you're transported, that you have 2 courtrooms you need to go to. You need to go to your new case and your probation violation case.
And is both on the same day?
Same time.
Okay.
Different rooms. Same building, though. It's in the same building, but different rooms. So you will be at the same building, but 2 different rooms. And the other one has a $500 secured appearance bond, and that's from the probation court. So if you are able to pay your bond, make sure you follow the conditions of release and call your probation officer and go to your 2 hearings. Even though they're on the same day, same time, let them know you've got those 2. You don't want to get a failure to appear warrant. Okay, please take your paperwork and have a seat. Devin Noland, please come to the podium. David Aliris, please have a seat by the door. Right here in the center, sir. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Davon Nolan, D-V-O-N, Nolan, N-O-L-A-N-D, September 19, 2002.
Thank you, sir. You are here today for a new municipal court case. It is alleging criminal damage. An attorney will be appointed to assist you at your next hearing. Your next hearing is at El Mirage Municipal Court, and that's on November 17th at 10 a.m. You are eligible for release today. It is a secured appearance bond of $500. If you are able to pay the bond, make sure you get yourself to that hearing at El Mirage. If you are not able to pay the bond, you will be held in custody and transported to the hearing. If you are able to pay the bond, you are not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with the alleged victim, witnesses, or complainants. I understand that might be your residence where you were arrested at.
Correct.
So I have included one order that you may go with local law enforcement one time to get things that you need, like your identification, medications, clothing you may need between here now and the next hearing. It also seems, so please review your release conditions carefully if you are able to make that $500 bond. If you are not, then you will be transported and the next judge may change these orders. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Thank you, sir. David Alieres, please come to the podium. Please say your name and your date of birth.
David Alieres, 220-83.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a probation violation warrant. It was alleged you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. So an attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your revocation arraignment hearing is downtown Phoenix on November 18th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for bond. It's a secured appearance bond of $250. If you are able to pay the bond, call your probation officer and go to your hearing.
Okay.
If you're not able to pay, you will remain in custody and be transported to your hearing.
Okay.
Please take your paperwork and have a seat.
Thank you.
The remainder of the calendar will be seen as house calls this evening because they are not able to be in the hearing room. I will read them through one at a time, but it is not my intention to return to this recording once I have finished reading these through. If there are any changes, they will be updated on the written orders. Number 11 on the calendar is Mr. Drake Allen Melikar, date of birth 9/4/1998. This is a new case alleging narcotic drug possession, which is a class 4 felony. An attorney was appointed to assist them. They are going to be released on supervised release with random illegal drug and alcohol testing, and so their next court date is November 25th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix, and they have the standard release conditions. The next person is Mason Love. He is being a danger to others. And this is birthday 12/8/1976, a new municipal court case alleging resisting arrest and criminal trespass, 3rd degree. These are both misdemeanors. An attorney will be appointed to assist him at his next hearing at Goodyear Municipal Court. The hearing date is set on November 19th at 8:30. He has a secured appearance bond of $250, and he has no contact conditions. The next person is Gonzalez Dominic. He is NASWA. He has 2 matters today, date of birth 12/31/1985. The first is this new case, Superior Court case, aggravated assault, which is a class 3 felony, and then another assault charge, which is a misdemeanor. This court did find probable cause, appointed an attorney, and his next hearing is November 18th at 8:30 in the morning. Based on the significant elevated risk of violating his release conditions and the safety risk to the alleged victims, it's a cash-only appearance bond of $25,000. He does have no return orders, as well as no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. Especially do not return to the shopping plaza located at 5142 West McDowell Road. His other matter is a municipal court warrant alleging that disorderly conduct and fighting as a misdemeanor. Again, an attorney will be appointed in the matter of bail. His hearing at Peoria Municipal Court will be November 13th at 9 a.m. He is being released with a secured appearance bond of $500 with the regular conditions imposed. The next individual is Benjamin Jeffrey, again NASWA. He has 3 matters. Looks like they are 2 probation violation warrants alleging that he violated terms 3 and 5. So an attorney has been appointed for those. Next hearing date is November 18th at 8:30 in the morning. One of them has a secured appearance bond of $250. The other one is $150. So that's $400 for his probation violations. And so there is also a municipal court warrant alleging criminal trespassing. So an attorney will be appointed in the matter of bond. And on that one, the Peoria Municipal Court hearing is November 13th at 9 a.m. and it's a $50 bond. So altogether for him, That is $450 secured appearance bond for Benjamin Jeffrey. And then the last person is Ralph Boone, and he is also in a SWA, date of birth 3/21/1982. He's here on a Superior Court arrest warrant alleging narcotic drugs and dangerous drugs. This was a direct complaint that was issued from an offense back in 2019. So an attorney has been appointed to assist him. His next hearing is November 18th at 8:30 in the morning, and he does have a secured appearance bond of $1,700 set. That was part of the direct complaint. He has the regular release conditions. That concludes the 8 p.m. initial appearance hearing calendar. They will stand in recess until 11 p.m.
Yeah, let's, so easy, everybody can do it. That's not sure. Let's just get to the calendar. Well, we are. Yeah, let's, this is the 11 p.m. initial calendar for November the 11th, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. Additionally, if you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you loss. If you have not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. All right. Now, we will just begin with, let me go. Nicole Badaras. So this she wasn't able to see what he said on the maybe should you do it or not. You want to? I'm thinking I may need to state the victim's right to notice so that she's not the victim. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Is the interpreter available?
Yes, she's on.
She's on? Okay, thank you. Can you please state your name and your badge number if you have one for the record?
Hi, good morning, good evening, whatever, Your Honor. This is Jennifer Morse from the Court Interpreter's Office, and I do not have a badge number.
Oh, okay, thank you, because you're from the Court's Interpreter's Office. We're good. Okay.
Yes.
I appreciate you helping us interpret today. We'll just begin. So, can you please state your name?
Nicole.
Is your middle name Diane?
Yes, it is.
And your last name Balderas?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. And is your date of birth July 30th, 1993?
Yes.
I have two cases before me. Number 3 and number 4 on the docket. I'll start with number 3. It is for 1 count of criminal damage as a Class 5 felony. It is for the offensive date for today. I'm appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set for November the 18th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set for November 20th at 8:30 a.m. Court will be held at Superior Court in Phoenix, 175 West Madison Street. I'm setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $750. I don't know if I stated it, but I've made a finding of probable cause in this case. You are not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You are not to contact the alleged complainant or witnesses. You're not to initiate contact with the arresting officers, nor have drugs without a valid prescription. Be sure to provide the court with proof of your local address. On your next case, it is for a warrant for violating your probation. I am again appointing counsel to represent you. You have a probation revocation hearing on November the 18th at 8:30 a.m. with a possible disposition set at the same date and time. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. Oh, yes, I'm saying it in the amount of $500. Now, because you're on probation, if you do get released, be sure to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Also, because you are on probation, you of course cannot possess any weapons. The court on this one is actually also still Superior Court in Phoenix, but it's just a little bit different. It's at 201 West Jefferson. If you're in custody, they will transport you. If not, go back and forth. Okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, none.
Okay, thank you very much. You can go to your left and get your paperwork, and it'll be in writing for you.
Okay.
All right. And thank you very much, interpreter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We
Have a good
appreciate
night.
your help. You too.
You're welcome.
Andres Rodriguez, please come to the podium. And Elizabeth Taylor, please go to the chair. Okay. Sir, can you please state your name?
Andres Rodriguez,
Your date of birth?
1981.
Thank you. And you have two cases before me, also number 8 and number 13 on the docket. They have the same name and date of birth on both of those. Going back to number 8, it is for new charges. You are being charged with 1 count of resisting arrest, risking physical injury as a Class 6 felony, 1 count of criminal damage, defacing property as a Class 6 felony, 2 counts of criminal trespassing in the first degree in a residential yard as a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of criminal trespassing in the third degree as a Class 3 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause for these charges. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on November the 18th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on November the 20th at 8:30 a.m. I'm going to set a secured appearance bond in this case in the amount of $15,000. If you are to be released, you are to be released on pretrial services and on pretrial services with anchor monitoring, electronic monitoring to be installed before you are to be released, with curfew restrictions to be determined by your pretrial officer. You're also not to return to the scene of the alleged crimes, not to initiate contact with the alleged victims, not to have any contact with any complainant or witnesses or the arresting officers. You're also not to possess any weapons or drugs. And I do know that you're on probation on the other case, so you are to contact your probation officers within 72 hours of your release. On your other case, you have a warrant for violating your probation. I am going to appoint counsel. Actually, she said you had existing counsel, but actually, when did you last have contact with your counsel?
As far as probation?
For that, yeah, for that.
It doesn't really.
Yeah, I'm going to reappoint counsel, so he's going to have the new paperwork. Okay, however, I am going to hold you without bond because of this new charge.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to be released in these new cases unless the judge changes your release conditions. So you don't want to make bond in your other case unless you can get released on this case.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? All right. Wish you well. But yes, number 13's got to be, I just re-signed it just to make sure. Okay. And Elizabeth Taylor, please come to the podium. Nicholas Stevens, please go to the chair. Hello, could you please state your full name?
Elizabeth Ann Taylor.
Thank you. Your date of birth?
12/11/75.
Thank you. Now I have that you have a warrant out of Eager Municipal Court, correct? Okay, at least that, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but that's how it's pronounced, or that's what it looks like. It is for a failure to appear. I am appointing, well, actually, I can't appoint counsel in another court. So I have, though, it appears to me, though, that you're not able to hire your own counsel. Is that correct? Okay, so I did put down the fact that I believe that you're indigent and that if you remain in custody, that you're to be appointed counsel at your next hearing for them to appoint counsel for you. Your arraignment will be November the 14th at 8:30 a.m. at the Eager Municipal Court. If you are, you have secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. I'm just reaffirming their bond. Obviously, if you can make it, then you can get released, and then you can just show up for court on your own. Okay. But if you can't, then they are to transport you.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I wish you well. As I stated, your arraignment is set for November the 14th at 8:30 a.m. at the Eager Municipal Court.
Okay, and so then will I be held until then?
Well, you have a $1,000 bond.
Okay.
It's secured appearance. So you could use a bonding company if you know, have collateral for the rest of it.
Okay, okay.
Right, but if you can't, then they will transport you.
Okay, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Nicholas Stevens, please come to the podium. Roy Hardwick, please go to the chair. Hello, sir.
Morning.
Can you please state your full name?
Nicholas Stevens?
Okay, your middle name is Grant?
Yes.
Okay, and your date of birth, please?
10/17/91.
Okay, now that is the same name and date of birth I have on the two cases before me today, number 15 and number 16. Let's go to number 16 first. It is a warrant for violating your probation. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have probation revocation hearings set on November the 18th at 8:30 a.m. and a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. Do you think you'd be able to make that bond?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, your other case is for dangerous drugs, possession or use of dangerous drugs is a class 4 felony, 1 count of possession or use of drug paraphernalia is a class 6 felony. I was not sure if I was going to find probable cause or not. What I'm going to do is normally when there's no testing and there's no admission, which I found in your case initially, I had determined initially I was not going to find probable cause. But if I don't find probable cause and you're not getting out on your other case, then I have to release you. And if you're still in custody and you're the case, you may not get transported for court. You also don't get credit. So I wanted to put down some sort of bond, but then if I don't find probable cause, then I can't find that. But I'm not going to find probable cause if there isn't any probable cause. So I was re-looking at your, at the probable cause statement, and it does state that there was actually multiple bags. And probable cause is kind of like, it's not something like, it's not a bright line, okay? So I actually believe I am going to find probable cause because I also feel that it is just in the situation because I want to make sure that you don't get put into the cracks. I want to make sure that you get transported to court. And I do believe that under the totality of the statement and the fact that there were multiple bags, not just one bag, it makes sense to me to find probable cause. So I am finding probable cause on this case. Let me look at it again. Because there are multiple white bags. There are multiple baggies with a white crystal substance. And there was foil with burnt residue and small white crystalline rocks. With all of that, that does seem to me to be enough totality to be probable cause. So I am going to find probable cause. I also think that it's better for you that there is a small nominal bond so that you do get transported. If there was just like one little bag and there's been no testing and no admission, I don't think I would not, even in this situation, I would not find probable cause. But with all of that information, I am going to find that there is probable cause. I'm going to make a secured appearance bond in the amount of $50. You're not to contact arresting officers, no drugs, and there you go. As I stated, on your other case, just to make sure that I have that, you had the warrant, appointing counsel, you have probation revocation hearings on November the 18th at 8:30 a.m., and a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. If you do get released, be sure to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Okay? Just go to your left and get your paperwork.
Thank you.
Wish you well. Roy Hardwick, please come to the podium. Marvin Milligan, please go to the chair. Thank you, sir. Can you please state your name?
Roy Hardwick.
Is your middle initial L?
Yeah, Roy Liddell Hardwick.
Okay, and your date of birth?
6/18/1981.
Thank you. You have a warrant out of Kyrene Justice Court. It is for 1 count of DUI drugs from July 14th of 2023. It appears to be, I think, post-adjudication. I am going to appoint counsel to represent you in regards to the bond issue only. You have an arraignment set on November the 14th at 8:30 a.m., and the bond amount is $100. Okay?
Okay.
It seems as though you're in for something else, so you want to just probably just,
Well, my question was, I was in custody at the time of the hearing. It should have been a failure to appear.
okay, you can always, when you go there, just explain to them that you're still in custody and show them that.
Okay.
But at the moment, I'm just going to keep it, that way they also know that they can come and get you.
Okay.
Okay? Marvin Milligan, please come to the podium. Harriman Hagos, please go to the chair. Hello, sir. Can you please state your name?
Marvin Xavier Milligan,
Thank you. Your date of birth?
September 8th, 1990.
Thank you. You have a warrant out of Peoria Municipal Court. It is for 1 count of disorderly conduct fighting as a Class 1 misdemeanor and 1 count of criminal damage as a Class 1 misdemeanor. If you are to remain in custody, I have that you're to be appointed at the council at your next hearing. You have an arraignment set on November the 13th at 9 a.m. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. Okay? And you're not to initiate contact with the alleged victim or victims or any complainant or witness. Okay, so if you just go to your left, look at your paperwork.
Will I be
This
able
is for Peoria Municipal Court.
Yeah, will I be able to be released on my own recognizance so I can go to work?
You have a bond amount in the amount of $500. So you can make bond and then you can be released. Otherwise, they will transport you. Harriman Hagos, please come to the podium. Todd McCoy, please go to the chair. Hello.
Hi.
Can you please state your name?
Ramon Hagos,
Okay, and your date of birth?
November 14, 2001.
Thank you. You have 2 cases before me today. And, sorry, you said November 14th, 2001? Okay, and that is the same name and date of birth on both cases. That's number 5 and number 6 on the docket. Going to number 5, it is a warrant for violating your probation. I'm appointing counsel to represent you. You have a probation revocation arraignment with a possible disposition hearing set on November the 18th at 8:30 a.m. And I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. On your next case, it is also, again, same thing, a warrant for violating your probation. I'm again appointing counsel to represent you. And same situation, probation revocation hearings set on the same date and time, November the 18th at 8:30 a.m. Secured appearance bond in the same amount. Secured appearance bond is $500. So, also, as you are on probation, if you are to be released, be sure to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Right? Just take a look at the paper. Todd McCoy, please come to the podium. Cody Wilson, please go to the chair. Yes, please go to the podium. Hello, sir. Can you please state your full name?
Tyler McCoy.
I'm sorry, what?
Tyler McCoy.
Okay, and your date of birth?
8185.
That was, I believe-
8185.
Okay, I could not hear the date. 8/2/1985?
Yeah.
All right, and that is what I have. You have a warrant for failing to show up for court.
They never told me about going to court.
Okay, well, you have a warrant for failing to show up for court. You have 1 count for possession or use of, that the basis is 1 count of possessing or using a dangerous drug as a Class 4 felony. It looks as though you have existing counsel. You have a status conference set on November the 18th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set for November the 20th at 8:30 a.m. I'm just affirming the bond in the amount of $500. Okay? So if you're released, be sure to contact your attorney and show up for court. Cody Wilson, please come to the podium. Hugh Corfan, please come to go to the chair. Sorry, you're Cody Wilson, correct?
Yes.
So, Mr. Corfan, please go to the chair. Okay. And sir, could you please state your full name?
Cody Michael David Wilson,
Thank you, and your date of birth.
September 18th, 1992.
Thank you. You have a warrant for violating your probation. You are, it seems though, did you just I'm not sure if you, when was the last time you had an attorney on your case?
I don't remember.
Okay, then you don't remember that I need to actually make sure I order counsel. I had that you had existing counsel, but at least somebody put it in already. So let me make sure that I put down that you have to get your counsel, and then you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. If you get released, be sure to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Okay, and I'm signing it right now. Do you have that? Did it show that it's signed? Yeah. There, I signed it again. Okay. So we will get that information for you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, sometimes it just shows it's like existing counsel, but it's like, it's the one you got. Okay. Mr. Quilton, please come to the podium. Jason Church, please go to the chair. Hello, sir.
Hello.
You have a warrant for, out of Agua Fria Justice Court
Yes.
for one count of driving
payment.
license. And it looks as though, I believe that it might be, let's see, was it pre-adjudication or, here's the warrant. It's post-adjudication failure to pay.
I should pay, but
Yeah.
my company shut down right now. I'm looking for another job, so I can
Okay.
start
Well,
paying.
I am appointing counsel for the limited representation regarding the bond issue only. The arraignment is set for November the 17th at 8:30 a.m. in Agua Fria Justice Court. You have a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $500. Okay? So, if you can't make bonds, they'll transport you.
What there?
I'm sorry, you have court in Agua Fria Justice Court,
Yes.
and if you can't make bonds, because
Over here or right there?
in order to get released, you have to put
Oh, yeah.
$500,
Okay.
okay? But if you can't make it, and you still would have to show up for court, so you have to you can put forth the bond,
yeah.
and you still have to show up for court.
Oh,
You can explain to them, look, I'm looking for a job, okay? But if you can't make the bond, they will transport you to court,
Okay.
okay? Or they'll have you seen by video.
All right.
One or the other will happen.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Right, so if you can just go to your left, look at your paperwork. Jason Church, please come to the podium. Cornelius Nunnery, please go to the chair. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Can you please state your full name?
Jason Scott Church,
Thank you. Your date of birth?
7876.
Thank you. You have a new charge. You're being charged with one count of possessing or using a dangerous drug as a Class 4 felony. I'm appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on November the 25th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on December the 1st at 8:30 a.m. I'm going to release you on pretrial services. So you are going to have, it's like an envelope. Yes, you're going to get out. So that's a good thing. However, you need to contact pretrial services once you're released. So basically tomorrow morning, contact them, let them know your information so that they're going to be able to, supervise you while you're out of custody and make sure that you show up for court.
Okay, no problem.
Okay? And then also just, main thing is show up for court.
No
Once
problem.
you're showing up for court, stay in
No
touch
problem.
with your attorney, and then all will be good.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Wish you well. Okay, so this was Cornelius Nunnery. Please come to the podium. Thank you. Yes, you need your hat off. And can you please state your full name?
Cornelius Nunnery.
And middle name is Jermaine? Is your middle name Jermaine?
Yes.
Okay, and your date of birth?
5881.
Thank you. You are being charged with one count of possessing or using a dangerous drug as a Class 4 felony, one count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a Class 6 felony, one count of criminal trespassing in the third degree as a misdemeanor, Class 3 misdemeanor. Yes. And I am finding I'm finding probable cause for these charges. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on November the 25th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on December the 1st at 8:30 a.m. And I'm going to be releasing you on your own recognizance. So that's on your promise to appear for court. So just make sure that you show up. Okay? Just show up for court. You also have on your paperwork how to contact the public defender's office. Okay? All right. So just go to your left and you'll be getting that paperwork.
Enjoy your day.
All right, you too. Okay, let me do the last one. And then you're just going to go back and get the other last one?
Yeah, we're waiting for someone to come get these two, and then
No problem. I just wasn't sure if he was just had been waiting. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take a look at these warrants. Go thread. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me just, this is another very, like, DUI that I really need to do real quick. Let me just look at it, and then the one that I'm pretty much denying, I'm just not looking at. I'm not going to answer right now. This one. I don't know. It's like, yeah. So let's just do this last, and then I can look at it again. Yes, if we could take Mr. Vigil. Hello, sir.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that you're like what's happening. This is an initial appearance. I think you must have gone through one at one time, and so we're just gonna, and I know that you missed the reading of what's happening, but basically I'm just gonna be reimposing your release conditions.
Okay.
Okay, so if you wanna just, we'll just go through let's start with your name.
Town Vigil,
And your middle name is Ray?
Ray,
Okay, and your date of birth?
6/8/06.
Thank you. And I have that, the initial charges, again, are the one count of murder in the first degree during a crime of the class 1 felony, and one count of kidnapping and the apprehension of injuries, a class 2 felony. I guess you were surrendered on your bond. That was $1 million. You have existing counsel, so I'm not changing anything about I'm not doing any orders regarding counsel, since you already have existing counsel. You have a status conference actually set tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. in Superior Court on 175 West Madison Street in the South Towers. I'm going to leave that alone. We're not changing anything. You have a secured appearance bond, so I'm reimposing the last bond amount, which was $1 million. And also it stated, so we looked up your last ones, and so I'm just trying to impose everything that you had beforehand. Okay. So that if you did get released again, that you'd be on pretrial services with alcohol testing and monitoring, drug testing and monitoring, and be on electronic monitoring, and that you'd be released on the electronic monitoring before you can get out of jail. And then you'd be on curfew restrictions determined by your pretrial officer. Do not return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with the alleged victim or victims. You're not to have any physical contact with any alleged victim or any complainant or witness. It looks like maybe the last one looked like you had it said do not have any contact with co-defendants, so I included that as well. Do not possess any weapons. Do not consume any drugs or alcohol. Do not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. You must continue to provide the court with proof of your local address. And then it wasn't in there, but I just thought, sometimes the victims have families, and especially if it's a murder, do not have any contact with the victim's family if they had any. Okay?
Okay.
So, believe that they have the paperwork. I didn't change anything from beforehand. So, just wish you well.
Thank you.
Okay. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. As there are no house calls, we are adjourned.